The Black Bear Film Festival has been supporting independent filmmakers for over 25 years and is the longest continuously running film festival in the Pocono Mountains. This year, the Black Bear Film Festival honors the volunteers who have kept the festival going and those that still support and run it yearly. Veronica Coyne, Executive Director of Black Bear Film, provides some highlights of this year's festival.
Opening night, this year I'm calling it the Silver and Black Gala. So I hope everybody will get dressed up, silver anniversary. We'll have a screening on Friday night. And then we're going to run all day Saturday at the Milford Theater with great films. We also have a celebrity guest that our board member John DeLeo will tell you a little bit more about. And then we're going to close out the festival with a film on Sunday, and then we're going to close it all out with that award ceremony. We're hoping to make a big deal about that and make it free to the public so anybody could come and see the awards.
The Black Bear Film Festival offers free events to the public throughout the weekend, including the Salon Film Series and the new award ceremony.
Don't forget about our salons. They're free to the public all day Saturday. We also have some specialty salons going on Sunday, which will be at the Triversity Center. We'll have a selection of LGBTQ plus films. And then we're going to also be at the Columns Museum for some historic films from our area that were probably filmed in our area or from directors who were from our area. And then we'll also have something going on at Gray Towers this year for children.
This year's event features a few changes to the festival's format, which further supports independent filmmakers.
Another thing that's different, I think, about the festival now is that we have a film committee where we have a bunch of people, community members and board members, who get together and view all of these films. And now, this year, we're going to do an award ceremony.
Film in Pike County has been a part of the local tapestry since the 1800s, with hundreds of films being made in the Pocono Mountains and Milford. That history is what ties the community to the Black Bear Film Festival.
I think this is really important to the community because of our rich film history. The entire area of Pike County was almost like our original Hollywood, the East Coast Hollywood, I think they called it. We're going to acknowledge our past, and we're going to continue into the future supporting filmmakers. And it's really important because art is so important. And film is just our modern day, I think it's the most prominent form of art.
Black Bear incorporates other forms of art into the weekend through the Artful Bears, created by local artists.
The bears are given to artists. We give them a stipend, and they design these beautiful artworks. We'll be bringing the Artful Bears to various locations, and we provide a map. You can take a little walking tour and see all the bears throughout town until we collect them for the festival, and then we put them in our silent auction. So you'll have the opportunity to purchase one of these bears if you would like to.
John DeLeo has been involved in the Black Bear Film Festival almost since the beginning and has interviewed many of the celebrities attending the festival.
I've been involved with Black Bear, I think it was the second or third year where I started by doing shows at the Salon, where a book of mine had come out and I did a presentation. But it wasn't until 2005 that I was on the main stage with a movie star. And the way the story goes, as it was told to me, was that the board at the time got Farley Granger from Alfred Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train to agree to appear at the festival. And everyone was so excited, and then they all looked at each other and said, "He's coming, and what do we do with him?" And then somebody was like, "What about that guy John DeLeo in town? He does stuff at the Salon. He writes books about old movies." And they got me involved, and he was the first celebrity, movie star that I got to interview on the stage, and we showed Strangers on a Train. And it's been a kind of ongoing event, not every single year, But there's been quite a few of them, and for me, of course, they've been the highlights of my connection to the festival, my participation, because I come to Milford from New York City in 2000, and suddenly I'm interviewing all these celebrities that some of my idols, people I probably never could have gotten near when I was living in Manhattan. So it was kind of ironic and serendipitous and wonderful. And then through the years, from Farley Granger, it was Arlene Dahl and Marge Champion and Keir DeLay, Jane Powell, Rex Reed, Tab Hunter, Jane Alexander, and then the offspring of a few people, Gary Cooper's daughter Maria, Judy Garland's daughter Lorna Luft, and now we've got someone coming this year who is going to be wonderful, Illeana Douglas. Illeana Douglas is the perfect guest because of her family's legacy in film. Her grandfather, Marvin Douglas, made his film debut in the early 1930s, won 2 Oscars as Best Supporting Actor. Illeana Douglas herself has had a very distinguished career as an actress. She also is very devoted to the issue of preserving classic film, participating in Turner Classic Movies for many years, and she's written 2 books on film. In fact, one of the reasons she'll be joining us is that she has a new book out. It's called Connecticut in the Movies. And so when she and I were talking about what we should show when I interview her on stage, what would the movie be? We're showing one of the movies in her book in which her grandfather appears, and that's Mr. Blanding's Builds His Dream House from 1948, starring Cary Grant, Myrna Loy, and Marvin Douglas. So you'll get to see her grandfather, we'll get to talk about her grandfather, we'll talk about the issue of how Connecticut has been portrayed in film, which ties into her book, and of course I'll ask her about her own career as an actress. And then immediately following the screening and the onstage interview, we'll go right outside to the tent, and she'll have a book signing for Connecticut in the Movies, there to autograph the book for anyone who purchases it.
Some of the most memorable moments of the Black Bear Film Festival are those spent with celebrities enjoying and spending time with the community.
We went to Bar Louie with Tab Hunter, and he stayed for hours. Or Keir DeLay, who came to 3 consecutive festivals. And then when he came the next year, he said he was so easygoing and wonderful. He said, John, is there anyone I could get for you? People I know? I said, well, we've always wanted Jane Powell. She's in Connecticut where you are. He goes, I know Jane Powell. I'll get her. I'll bring her. And again, you think, okay, a year later, he got her, he brought her, and when I introduced her, he escorted her down the aisle onto the stage. I guess that might be my favorite memory of that, how everything he said he would do, he did, and he was so loyal to us and just so much fun to be around. But they really all were enthusiastic about being here. No one was a diva. Everyone was like, this is a beautiful town, this is a quaint theater, it was so charming. Because Milford is essentially a small town, when people that you watched as a kid or a teenager in the movies, and they came to your town and they were right there and you could shake their hand and get their autograph and ask a question, they always seemed so touched and just so grateful that these people wanted to come here. And like I said, it was mutual, because I think they all loved that, oh, these people remember me, and this is so nice. And it's not like being at a Manhattan premiere where it's crazed and there's barricades and all that. It's comfortable and everything is accessible, and it just has a lovely spirit. It's become almost like a holiday. You have October is Halloween and the Black Bear Film Festival. It's sort of, it has a real foundation. Certainly one of the oldest annual things going on, certainly since I've been here.
In recent years, many people in the film industry have relocated to Milford and the Pocono and Catskill Mountains.
There are a lot of people in the arts, whether it's theater or writers or film people, who do have places here, and we've tracked down several, and others that are hiding out, we're going to find you and get you to come to Black Bear.
One of the advantages of local film festivals is that they offer residents living in smaller communities the opportunity to see independent films on the big screen.
Last year we showed Past Lives, which ended up being nominated for the Best Picture Oscar, and it had already opened in New York, but we showed it because if you live in this area, what are the chances that you'll get to see this small independent film that was getting rave reviews in New York on a big screen? Yes, eventually you would see it streaming on whatever platform it was streaming on. But to see these movies that you want to see on a big screen, you think, I know my local theater is never going to show this. And so sometimes Black Bear can serve in that capacity to make you see something you've heard about that was never going to come here, that you might have to wait a couple of more months for, but you can see it on a big screen and the way the filmmakers hoped you would see it.
Black Bear Film Festival offers the opportunity to meet up-and-coming filmmakers, writers, and producers before they become famous.
I think the opportunity to meet filmmakers, even if they're not famous, you never know. They could become famous. I think it's a great opportunity to see these short films in the salons of up-and-coming filmmakers. And they're always cutting edge and new ideas, interesting new technology usage. That's where we're kind of really the breeding ground of the art of filmmaking. I just think it's important for us all to support this. I think it's a great way, in many ways our society is kind of coming apart at the seams politically and maybe socially, and people disagree. But I feel like film festivals like this, where we see people's experiences through documentaries or stories from different perspectives, I think this is something that holds us all together. And sitting in a theater, watching a film together, I think really can bring us all together in a different way, in a new way.
To learn more about the 25th Annual Black Bear Film Festival, visit blackbearfilm.com to purchase your festival tickets today and support the art of filmmaking in the Pocono Mountains.